All right, and thank you for joining us once again. I'll tell you what, Season 4 of the MTCO.com Team Racing Series, back in the saddle again, getting underway at Chicago Speedway tonight. In the booth with me tonight, none other than Tracy Flip Robinson. They call me the Cowboy. I'm your host, J.D. Webb. Alongside us this season, Wendy Bernard, team owner of Dragon Motorsports, sitting alongside us tonight. Put her in charge of the buffet table for this season. Also, Jerry, the Corn Dog Wolf, on the cameras with us tonight. And Tracy, I'll tell you what, after a fantastic Season 3, I'm really looking forward to Season 4.
Yeah, I can't wait for this series to get started again, JD. Tell you what, it's been nothing but fun and excitement to watch. A lot of clean racing. Tell you what, we really improved our caution counts. Chicago, what a great race to start at. These guys are going to be going all out, and we'll see who's got what for tonight, and hopefully we get a lot of long runs, JD.
Hey, you know what, Tracy? Season 3 history. Let's go over that here just a little bit. The battle between Elite and Can-Am. That started in Season 2 about mid-season, and it carried on through Season 3.
Yeah, I tell you what, Can-Am came on strong. They kind of got all their ducks in a row there in Season 2. Made a charge there at the end, and then had a lot of real high hopes coming into Season 3. And tell you what, they sure didn't make it look bad. Those guys went hard after Elite.
I'll tell you what, coming from Las Vegas, the first race in Season 3, Elite and Can-Am sitting 3rd and 4th. But by the second race at Bristol, it was Elite and Can-Am racing 1 and 2. But I'll tell you what, the RSN house team, they came on pretty strong after Las Vegas as well.
Yeah, the RSN house team had some great guys come in there and run those cars, because you got to qualify in to be a driver on that team. And tell you what, they got Dan White in there a few races, and I believe Kyle Lent and another driver were in there. So tell you what, there was some really great running going on. Those guys really performed well. But I tell you what, that was just the beginning of a Can-Am and Elite and their run to the top.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you what, a little bit of news on the house team. The way that works, these are cars that are able to qualify in and earn a spot on the house team, the RaceSimNation.com house team. This season, Season 4 is going to be just a little bit different. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, Halls on Post was another one that we need to mention, Tracy. They were coming from Las Vegas. They were down, buried deep in the hole, around 9th position or so, just one up from the bottom. And then by Atlanta, about 3/4 of the way through the season, worked themselves all the way up into 3rd place.
Yeah, Halls on Post had a rough start of the year. There was quite a few races there where they only had 2 drivers make it and get in the race, which really kills you from points in the team series when you got everybody else starting with 3 drivers. But they got to about the middle of the season. I tell you what, their guys, they got their team figured out, got their guys to show up, and really started putting on some pressure to them other teams, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And it was James Greegate. James Greegate's name seems to come up all the time here lately. But I'll tell you, there is another side to that number 7 machine here at the Nation. James Greegate also runs a real number 7 up at Grundy Speedway up in Grundy, Illinois, I believe it is, short track racing. So he's split between the online racing and doing the real deal. That kind of hurt Halls on Post for a little while, but I'll tell you what, Halls on Post working their magic. J.J. Schlafer, Dwayne Hall, Tony Bowling able to pull a cat out of the hat for a 3rd place finish in the overall last season. Elite Sim Racing, of course, taking the top honors. Can-Am Racing, I'll tell you what, we're going to be looking out for them as well in Season 4, Tracy.
Yeah, JD, we're coming into the winter season of the year, and that's when you'll see these drivers showing up more, getting more practice in. A lot of guys are pretty busy during those summer months. Don't get the time to put into the sim racing that they like to. But now that we're getting into winter, all that other type of stuff is slowing down or stopping. And tell you what, we're going to have everybody showing up for this season.
You bet. I'll tell you what, if Season 4 turns out to be as good as Season 3, we are in for 12 weeks of some awesome racing here at the Nation, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and step away. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to run down through the teams. We'll tell you who's who and who's where this season in the MTCO.com Team Series. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contracts, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R Factor. Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers. Hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, and we are back here live, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. We're sitting here in the booth at Chicago Speedway, waiting for things to get started. But in the meantime, I thought we'd take you down through the list and tell you who's who and who's where on the MTCO.com teams. So starting out here at the top, Tracy Can-Am Racing. We saw what they could do the last couple of seasons and what they're prepared to do here in Season 4. Number 42 of Kevin Brent's still on the team, along with Chris Melton, Dan Wiley, and newcomer Joe DePino. The 99 Steven Spieth out for Season 4. The counselor, Joe DePino, taking his place.
To tell you what, we got the team of ETV Live returning, all the same players. The 33 of Jerry Hinkle, the 28 of Howard Pittman, the 15 of Brian Pace, and the number 20 of Scott Collins.
You bet. We also we used to call those guys the Geritol gang, but I'll tell you what, they get out there and have a good time, and that's the only instruction that I have ever given them. So same thing rolls out for Season 4. Dragon Motorsports, I'll tell you what, formerly DB Tech Services, new owner in the shop, Wendy Bernard. 22 of Frankie Samato, number 8, Dave Hooten. Dave Hooten, a special case here. Now, special case, treat him like a freaking medical problem here. Not really, but I'll tell you what, David Hooten spent considerable time. In fact, let's talk about it. Season 3, under the wings of Dan White. We talked to Dan White earlier, and I'll tell you what, David Hooten with Dan White in his corner throughout Season 3 as a spotter and coach. Looking to see some good things come out of Dragon Motorsports this season. 14 of Jody Johnson on the team, replacing Kyle Lent, and then the 74 of David Bass.
I tell you what, we got that team of the Hall and Post Incorporated with the 55 of Dwayne Hall, Master Track Builder Extraordinaire, and returning the 21 of Tony Bowling. And let's see if James Greegate and that number 7 will get back on top here. That his racing season at Grundy's all over. And I tell you what, I think we found that number 16 of Kyle Lent, who ran for Dragon Motorsports last year. He has taken the spot of the number 9 JJ Schlafer on the Halls and Post Incorporated team, JD.
You bet. JJ Schlafer sitting out this season. I tell you what, I think he's got a kid on the way and he's moving and all kinds of stuff happening in that household. But hey, keep moving on here. Crossed Up Motorsports, formerly True Gravity Racing. Sean Brown still under the flag here with Hal Beardsworth. Don Klein in the number 52 machine. 39 John Elkins joins them. Crossed Up Motorsports this season.
And for our team champion, Elite Sim Racing, looks like we got the same guys returning this year. I tell you what, this is a stout team. These guys have shown how to get to the top, as they have won this championship, I do believe, 3 seasons in a row now. And your leader of that group is the number 84 of Chris Wilson, followed up by him by the 96 of Jason Riddle, this year's Series Pro Series champion, and the 62 of Danny Gabaldon, and the number 24 of Ernie Diofonso.
You got that right. And I'll tell you what, RaceMNation.com, this is a new team to the series. This season in Season 4, 77 of Jeff Krause, 61 of Tim Milhorn, 98 of Kevin Franks, and the 47 of Roger Haygood joins the team for the first time here in Season 4.
And now we also got MTCO.com Racing. Leading up the pack is the number 17 of Tom Plazinski, followed up by the number 70, the wall banger Jesse Racines. And always strong and running up front, the number 37 of Jay Bunn, and the number 606 of Larry Trevino.
You bet. And then Exile Racing League, I'll tell you what, 27 of Larry Mulligan and number 2 of Mike Broados, pretty much the lead team there, the lead drivers for that team. 5 of Vance and the 91 of Blaine Dockery, rounding out the 4 drivers for Exile Racing this season. That pretty much wraps it up for the Season 4 MTCO.com teams. Hunter.com team is gone, but I believe that there's a couple of drivers. I think it was Krause and Milhorn over on the RSN team that were racing under the Hunter.com flag. Some rule changes this year, Tracy. I'll tell you what, this is going to be, you and I kind of went pro and con on this thing. I'll take the pro side. I agree with the rule change, and that is that they will not allow the fourth driver on the team to qualify in for the house team. Remember last season they allowed that to take place. Thought was that, you know what, guy qualifies in, his other teammates are out there on the track. There's a good chance he's going to be the fourth driver out there and help nobody but those other three drivers on his team. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts on not allowing that fourth guy to race is it's not like it's an unfair advantage for any team out there. Everybody has the exact same opportunity. Just put your guy out there. Hopefully he qualifies better than the rest. Hey, it's like a lottery. Everybody has the same equal chance. And I don't see where it should be a problem. It'll keep that house team full. And tell you what, it'll probably prop everybody up to improve their guys' qualifying skills to get that house team to help their team at the end of the year, JD.
All right, there you have it. Pro and con on the rule changes here with the drivers. The fourth driver, every team's got 4 drivers, but the fourth driver last season that was permitted to qualify in and race on the house team. This season they are not. Qualified drivers will have to come from outside the team series to make up to take up the seats for the house team, the RSN house team here at the Nation. So with that, I'll tell you what, we're going to take you down through the schedule for the MTCO.com Team Racing Series with Wendy Bernard. All right, and new with us in the booth this series as well as the Pro Series on Monday nights, Wendy Bernard, team owner from Dragon Motorsports. Wendy, welcome to the booth tonight here on Wednesday nights.
And thank you very much. I'm going to enjoy being able to sit up here for a little bit before I have to go take care of other business.
There you go. I'll tell you what, we put Wendy in charge of scheduling and tracks here. Wendy doing her homework on all the tracks. But tonight we're at Chicagoland Speedway, guys. First race of the Season 4 Series here at the MTCO.com Team Racing Series here on Wednesday nights. Tell us about Chicago, Wendy.
Chicagoland, Joliet, Illinois. She's a 1.5-mile track, and she's got 18-degree banking in each of the turns, which I tell you, I kind of like this track.
Yeah, I know you do. You've got a couple thousand laps, I hear, from from the guys on the team under your belt here at Chicago, driving your own race car out there. And then that's tonight, Chicagoland, and then a week from tonight, on the 21st of September, we're going to be at the now defunct track, USA Speedway.
Yeah, USA International Speedway is near Lakeland, Florida. She's a 3/4-mile track with only 14-degree banking, so it makes it kind of flat.
Yeah, it's not very steep banking there. 14 degrees, just enough to kind of get you around the turns there, lickety split. And then on September 28th, Wendy, we're going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Bristol Motor Speedway, located in Bristol, Tennessee, a half-mile track with 22 to 24-degree banking in the turns.
Yeah, you know what, and I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, they ruined Bristol by putting all that banking in there, but I'll tell you what, some exciting racing there, half-mile short track stuff. And then on October 5th, we'll be in Kansas.
Kansas City, Kansas, home of Kansas Speedway, a 1.5-mile track and 15-degree banking.
All right. And then following Kansas, the week after that, on October 12th, in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Mile, West Allis, Wisconsin, a 1-mile track with 9.25 degrees banking.
You got 1-mile track, some more 1-mile short track racing there. I tell you what, Milwaukee, always exciting racing there. And then moving up from there, on October 19th, we'll be in Gateway.
Madison, Illinois is the home of Gateway International Speedway. It's a 1.25-mile track with 9 to 11-degree bankings in the turns.
Yeah, we'll just call it about a 1-mile track there at Gateway. Some exciting racing there. We've seen some good stuff come out of that track. And that's some big track racing on the 26th of October, Talladega.
Talladega, Alabama. Talladega Super Speedway, a 2.66-mile track with 33 degrees banking in the turns, which is 2 degrees more than Daytona has.
You're about 2 degrees more. I'll tell you what, it doesn't look like it, but Talladega, it almost appears that the banking there is a lot less than it is at Daytona, but it's actually steeper at Talladega. But on November 2nd, the week after Talladega, we'll be moving on to Darlington.
Darlington Raceway, also known as the Lady in Black or the Track Too Tough to Tame. It's located in Darlington, South Carolina. It's a 1.36-mile track with 23 to 25 degree banking.
You bet. And then, you know, after that, moving on to November 9th, one of my favorite tracks, we're going to be up there in Michigan.
Michigan International Speedway, located in Brooklyn, Michigan. It's a 2-mile track with 18 degree banking, and I tell you what, you either like her or you don't.
Yeah, coming from somebody who's got her own car now and has some experience at Michigan. I believe that was the first track. Wasn't that your first track in a Cup car, Wendy?
Yes, it was. It was the very first one.
And you either love it or you hate it. So, but I'll tell you what, a week after that, on the 16th of November, we'll be in Iowa.
Newton, Iowa, home of Iowa Speedway. It's a 7/8-mile track, 12 to 14 degree banking.
We're going to take a week off after Iowa, guys, and then come back on November 30th, moving into some warmer part of the country. We'll be in Phoenix, Arizona.
Avondale, Arizona, home of Phoenix International Raceway. It's a 1-mile track, 9 to 11 degree banking on the turns, and it will get hot down there, so you got to watch those tires.
Absolutely. And they'll be wrapping the season up at Indianapolis on December 7th, final race of the MTCO.com Team Racing Series, Wendy.
Speedway, Indiana, home of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a 2.5-mile track with 9 to 12 degree banking.
You bet, and always some nice racing there. And I'll tell you what, that pretty much wraps up the season for the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. So get your calendars marked and get ready for some of the best racing you've ever seen online. All right, and now it's time to turn our attention trackside as national recording artists, the Cactus Cuties, present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
MTCO Communications, dude, I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty, do it with R-Factor, Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month, no better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers, hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, our live Chicago Motor Speedway here. Thanks to the Cactus Cuties and the best rendition of the national anthem, Tracy, that I have ever heard in a long time. But down here on the track at Chicago Raceway, qualifying in on the pole tonight, number 42, Kevin Brents.
And qualifying tonight in the second place at 39, of Jay Elkins.
Jesse Racema qualified third tonight.
Starting fourth, the 27 of Larry Mulliken.
And fifth is the 96 Jason Riddle.
Starting sixth, the 78 of Chris Melton.
And starting seventh tonight at Chicago, the 16 of Kyle Lent.
And starting eighth, the number 7 of James Greegate.
37 car Jay Bunn starting in ninth tonight.
And holding up your place spot, the 8 of Dave Hooten.
Tony Bowling, number 21, starting in 11th position.
Starting 12th tonight, number 22 of Frankie Samanto.
My buddy I usually see over in the chat room on ETV Live, the 62, Danny Baldwin, starting 13th.
14th, the 77 of Jason Kraus.
Howard Pittman, the 8 car, starting at 15th tonight.
Your sixth place starter, the number 20 of Scott Collins.
Roger Haygood in the 7, starting 17th.
And an 18th spot, a famous number 3 car, Hal Beardsworth.
And starting 19th at the number 24, Ernie D'Alfonso.
And starting in 20th place, the number 33 of Jerry Hinkle.
And welcome to Wednesday Night Team Racing, the 34 car, Joe DePino, starting 21st tonight.
Starting 22nd, the 98 of Kevin Franks.
All right, and going on the field tonight in 23rd position, the 17 car of Tom Pozinski, as we get set to pick up the green flag for the first time here to the MTCO.com.
Green, 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 green!
Season 4 is underway as Kevin Brents takes us to the green flag with Elkins up on the outside. Racimas, Tracy, he's going to be looking for that lead here just shortly. Larry Mulliken driving for Dragon Motorsports now. Some team changes. We'll get into that here in just a little bit, but off to a pretty clean start. There's still 2 wide back here coming down the backstretch. Larry Mulliken, Riddle, and Kyle Lent on the bottom down there, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, that 9 car during practice, man, he was putting up some really fast laps out there. Elkins in the 39. Sorry, I got to get his first name, but tell you what, we got a great start here. Everybody's running pretty clean. Got a few cars still side by side back there for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th place, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, it's 2 wide up here between Kyle Lent or actually it's now it's James Greegate and the 27 machine of Larry Mulliken. Larry Mulliken still being seen in that I think that Exile machine, the Harley Davidson car. But Larry Mulliken now running for Dragon Motorsports. That name came up so quick last night on the team, Tracy, that they don't even have a car ready for him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I didn't even know about it until we actually told me about it there, JD, today. But I'll tell you what, Jesse Racema just got up into that wall, heading into corner 1 there. Put a little damage on the right side of his car, guys.
Wall banging Jesse Racema. Tony Bowling back here duking it out with 37 of Jay Bunn. Tony on the bottom down here. Tony Bowling does have some pretty impressive stats here, guys. Tony Bowling running for the Halls on Post Motorsports team for the second season, I believe, or 3rd season, I believe it is, for Halls on Post. But I tell you what, Tony Bowling, looking at my list here, Tony's got 2 wins, 2 top 5s, and a top 10 here. So Tony Bowling looking to put Halls on Post up on top tonight.
Tell you what, the 70 getting up into that wall there, JD. He's holding up strong right against the number 16 of Kyle Lent. As they're racing down the front stretch, you got Kyle Lent's going to prevail and complete that pass for 4th position, JD.
You bet. And I'm still watching this shootout between Bowling and Bunn back here. Looks like Bowling's going to get the run coming off of turn 4, heading down the backstretch, or actually turn 2, heading down the backstretch, going into 3 and 4 here. But it looks like he's going to get the run on Jay Bunn. Bunn for MTCO team manages to hang on to it, but slips back 1 notch. Bowling gets the run on him. But so far, pretty decent racing here at Chicago. 100 laps, 5 of them in the books already. As Roger Haygood gets down beside 62 of Danny Gabaldon. Danny giving it up to Roger going down the backstretch here.
Yeah, in the 96, Jason Riddle just completes a pass around that 39 car. Elkins is trying to get 3rd place from him. Tell you what, that's Elkins in the Crossed Up Motorsports car there, Jenny. Doing a great job, but tell you what, Elite lead sim racing, trying to get back to the front as he's coming up, getting behind Kevin Brent's going to work on trying to get that lead.
And Joe Dino back here for it's not Can-Am anymore. In fact, those are one of the changes we want to start mentioning. Class Action Motorsports, formerly Can-Am Racing Team. Joe DiPino, a new member on that team. He's back here in 19th. That's the we'll call it the second group back here. He's in front of those guys, but Joe DiPino, first time out on a team this season with Class Action Motorsports, running back here to 19th. Behind him, Jerry Hinkle and Scotty Collins, Kevin Franks, and I'll tell you what, they're probably, if I'm thinking about these guys here, I'm thinking probably saving tires. 100 laps is a pretty long race here at Chicago, Tracy.
Yeah, it is. But I tell you what, moving forward right now is that number 7 of James Greegate, as he's getting underneath the 70 of Jesse Seamus, and that'll put, looks like 2 cars for Holland Posts right up there in the top 5, JD.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about the teams and what this all means here in a little bit, but we do have some changes that we want to make sure we get out. I missed Jeff Krause. I called him. His name is actually Jason Krause. I'm not quite sure where the name Jeff came from. He just looks like a Jeff, maybe. I don't know. But Exile Racing Team gone. Brodus and his boys. Malkin picking up a ride with Dragon Motorsports. Crossed up Motorsports team, that's going to be Beardsworth, Brown, and group, formerly True Gravity Racing Team, Sean Bickle giving up that team, and then Class Action Motorsports, formerly Can-Am Racing, and we talked about Can-Am in the pre-race show, their effort in Season 2, the end of Season 2, and of course their big effort last season, Season 3. Really looked good out there. Just couldn't get it together, but I tell you what, got to be more than proud of their accomplishments over the last season out there.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got 10 laps in there right now, JD. Everything's running nice, and everybody's doing a pretty good job out there. Seen a little fender rubbing, but everybody's just like some of them taking their time, working their way up. Ernie Diafonso, he's slowly making his way up. Same time, Jesse Seamus just about lost it. Jumped on the brakes, saved that car. We got 3 wides and cars bumping each other trying to avoid the 70, but everybody keeps going straight, JD.
Yeah, you bet. Watching that 70 Jesse Racines for MTCO Racing Team, man, I'll tell you what, good hands move right there, keeping that car under control. Wall banging Racines. About bit it one more time here, but I'll tell you what, he let about 8 or 10 of them get out there in front of him. He was running up there in the top 5, but had to give it up. That'll put James Greegate in a comfortable position up there. James Greegate was side by side with Racines there for a couple of laps there, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, I listening to Jesse's radio communication. He was really not very happy having to run that high side where he was. He said his car was handling horrible up there, and he had a hard time getting back down, finding space to stay there. And I think he got his tires hot running that high line, JD.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, James Greegate, it's good to see him back on the track. Of course, talked to him the other night. He won the Monday Night Halls on Post series over there at Richmond. And, of course, he's back racing online here and taking his season with the Grundy racing up there has kind of come to an end now. But I tell you what, Rookie of the Year for 2011 up there in Grundy, Illinois. So congratulations to James Greegate for that. And we expect to see him back here full-time racing now here for a while, at least through the winter.
Yeah, that's usually what it takes, that winter time to show up. Get that. Some of us, our states here, will get that snow, and that'll put some people, park them inside for a little while just to stay warm. And tell you what, you can really get some good racing just like we got tonight as we're still running caution free, and these guys are doing a great job out there, JD.
You bet. Well, let's talk about the cautions here for just a minute. We certainly don't want to throw in kind of a jinx out there, but we've been here, I think it was 6 or 7 times. The caution average here is 6.1. So a little bit on the high side, but we did have a couple of races with 11 and 13 cautions here at Chicago. But you know, I would hope to think that we made some changes, maybe some adjustments to the track. I know Dwayne Hall works very hard on you know, getting these tracks raceable for these guys and getting these tracks in shape. And you know, the quality of racing that we saw last season, same guys coming out here this season, and I would venture to say that we'll see a whole lot fewer than 6 cautions tonight.
Yeah, that'll be great. I couldn't imagine running this track actually caution-free. I would think you'll be seeing guys with the way the cars seem to be moving around now, running into the pit lane probably right around lap 30 to get tires, JD, just from wear.
Yeah, you bet. And you know, we'll talk about the teams here a little bit and what it means out here on the track. You know, this isn't so much about who wins the race, and you know, certainly there's you know, the trophy is at stake, you know, here in the end. However, more importantly, it's about the team effort, and you know, it's about where you finish and how far forward you finish together with the rest of your team. So you know, these guys out here are working hard to try to race together, stay together, keep moving as far forward as possible.
All right, yellow flag, back it down.
We get our first caution out, and sounds like is that Larry Trevino?
Racimas there. Tell you what, JD, Jesse Racimas lost the handle of that car, spun out.
Okay, the leader just took the yellow. Pit road's closed. Pit road's closed.
All right, the 70 of Jesse Racimas, and tell you what, that mistake here a couple of laps ago probably had something to do with it. Out there on probably wore out tires. Tires getting hot, and you know, of course, these guys start out on qualifying tires, so you know, it's like Jesse just
I'm gonna tell you what,
kind of
JD, it looks like he got around there, and somebody else that's going to pay for that's at 47. It looks like he got into this, came up, spun up, and the side of that 47 did a lot of damage to him. So, a couple tore up race cars, JD.
Yeah. Maybe we did bring Jinx out, I don't know, but you know, Jesse's a wall banger.
It's open for lead cars only. Lead cars only.
MTCO.com Team Racing Series at Chicago Speedway, but I'm sure they'll all be hitting pit road down here, Tracy.
Yeah, they're going to get them qualifying tires off. Probably do a little adjustment to them cars. I know them qualifying tires. The guys who ran them the hardest to get that top row, you'd think they had the most wear in their tires. But yeah, you could see Jesse's car starting to get loose on him again, and I think him just running that high line just overheated that right rear tire, and it's really hard to get that tire cooled back off with keeping up any good speed to stay with the group, JD.
Yeah, you got we'll keep an eye on pit road here. Looks like Jay Bunn staying out. Probably get some lead lap points here. Nice strategy working there. Pick up as many bonus points as you can. Looks like Kevin Brent's going to get to run off pit road. Jason Riddle behind him, and Kyle Lent for Halls on Motorsports. So I'll tell you what, we'll step away. We're going to take a real quick commercial break here. You're watching a live ETV Live. Dude, it's the only choice. And we're at Chicagoland Speedway, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. Don't go away. We'll be here. All right, real commercial as we promised, and we are back live, Chicagoland Speedway here up in Joliet, Illinois, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. And I'll tell you what, dude, you do not want to miss the Halls on Post Monday Night Racing Series here at the Nation, RaceSimNation.com. Just go over there, click on the live feed link every Monday night at about 8:40 p.m. And I'll tell you what, some of the best racing you'll ever see. Halls on Post Monday Night Racing Series.
Yeah, I tell you, this is Monday night was a really good race. Had 5 cautions that night, and guys ran a really good race. It was right down to the end who was going to win there, as James Greegate pulled out that win tonight. And if you look at it now, JD, James is right back up there in the top 4 already.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, James Greegate crawling back in, actually crawling out of his other number 7 up there at Grundy and crawling into this number 7 out here on Monday and Wednesday nights. Of course, James running for the Halls on Post team. Back in good graces with all in the Hall family out there. I'll tell you what, James taking kind of a half a season off there a little bit. But, I'll tell you what, did some good things with that number 7 up there in Grundy. As, we said earlier at the top of the show, 2011 Rookie of the Year up there. And I'll tell you what, that's a pretty awesome thing to do. First trip out in a late model.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's some different feels when you're actually racing a car and they start to slip and slide on you. And what you do is, you explained to us earlier in the year that he had to change his method of saving a spin.
Okay, we're going back to green. Next time by.
His tires on his race car, doing the same thing he did in the sim, JD.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this sim racing thing might be a pretty good practice for him, I guess. Just taking a gander over here at the Halls on Post chat screen over here, and I see Dwayne Hall. Dwayne wasn't sure whether he was going to run here tonight. Early meeting with them. Had the 21 on the slate for Chicagoland tonight. 21 having difficulty getting home from work, but managed to get home just in time to slap the helmet on and crawl into his race car. So Dwayne Hall, our track master for the nation, sitting back, probably a cold one in one hand, chips in the other, watching it all happen on ETV. And then, of course, the Outlaw. They call him the Outlaw. Jesse James. Him and David Bass broadcast the True Gravity Tuesday Night Truck Series over there. I'm going to try to get Outlaw into TeamSpeak here, see if we can't get him up here in the booth here just for a little bit. But I keep telling him to get his TeamSpeak warmed up.
Just sure if you knew who you were talking about. Maybe at the moment there, JD, because I wasn't really too sure who you were talking about at the time.
All right, then tell you what, taking the green flag one more time here at Chicago.
Green flag, go, 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 go!
Pick it up. Jason Riddle, Kyle Lent, James Greegate, and Chris Melton, your top 5 out here as we get to racing one more time here, coming off that caution with Jesse Racimus. But single file restart here, but all the way back here to about 8th. John Elkins on the bottom, and Jason Krause trying to get the top side working for him up here, which does work here for a time at Chicago, guys. So I'll tell you what, this is another track where you can take advantage of that top line. Sometimes it's just a little bit faster coming off 3 and 4 than the bottom, because you kind of got to woe your machine up there on the bottom just a little bit to get around that turn where you can pretty much keep your throttle up on that top side, keep your foot on the throttle.
Yeah, and you kind of will do too there also, JD, is if you can get your nose up there where you know that guy can see you out of his view, you can crowd that guy entering the corner a little bit. Make him slow down just a little bit more, so maybe you can make that pass on the high line as Krause moves back behind the 39 of John Elkins. But I was going to say something about these restarts. If people aren't watching, is we've gone through a lot of rule changes and how we do our starts, and we have it now that on the restart, until you pass that start-finish line, you're not allowed to start your pass around any cars. And I tell you what, that's made a great change on our restarts without having cautions.
You've kind of cleaned it up there just a little bit, but some of these guys get a little bit lead-footed when it gets late in the race and they get kind of a hurry. But I'll tell you what, racing on Wednesday nights here is a little bit different than racing on Monday nights. Wednesday nights, this is about the team effort, so you got to be conscious of where the rest of your team is on the track and try to work together and try to stay together as a team and move as far forward as possible. But some different strategies certainly come into play out here. But moving forward here just a little bit, Chris Melton trying to get that position back up here, as he was working the bottom there for just a little bit, but trying to get back up to the bumper of that 7th James Greegate. And Chris Melton, you know, the team name changed from Can-Am to Class Action just occurred, so we're still looking at some old Can-Am cars out here that you know, will appear on the track. And I think Larry Mulligan is still driving one of his old cars. Larry Mulligan now racing for Dragon Motorsports, and so we'll keep up with some of the changes here. One of the other deals here too, the house team, no qualifiers tonight, and of course that's working out just a little bit different. Talked about it in the pre-race show, Tracy. The fourth driver on the teams cannot qualify for the house team tonight.
Yeah, we had a little discussion on pros and cons, and this is kind of the effect of that rule being enforced. Is I think getting some of the people here to run that RS team is going to be a little tougher this season.
Yeah, but then just take another gander over here in the chat room and see JJ Schlafer has logged in. JJ, I think he had a baby coming, a marriage coming, a new house coming. A lot of stuff happening in that, or all three, yeah. I'll tell you what, I wonder if he's talking to Dwayne over there now. I wonder if he's getting any pointers on how to change diapers or anything like that. I'll tell you what, JJ Schlafer kind of taking a season off here. JJ left Halls on Post, and I guess he's up for grabs. I understand that he may be going to another team. I know what team, but I'm not sure there's been any press release yet. But JJ Schlafer not running for Halls on Post. Kyle Lent filling that spot in tonight.
Yeah, I was just checking the field there, JD. Not too sure what happened, but our counselor's not out there racing right now, JD. He seemed to have parked that car. Boy, I tell you, it didn't seem like he did that much damage, but possibly had enough blown tires. Maybe he blew that engine up, JD.
Yeah, looks like I'll tell you what, maybe we can keep an eye on the garage area down there, and maybe we can pull him up here in the booth at some point. But Kyle Lent out there in front now. Jason Riddle, James Greegate, and Brent's moving back to fourth place back here. 78 of Chris Melton for Class Action, still hanging on to a top 5 up here. But Kyle Lent for Halls on Post out in front.
Yeah, I tell you what, he did a good job hanging up there. I just went down there and checked, JD. I couldn't find 34 anywhere around. He must have just probably a little upset with the first race of the season being out so early with an engine problem.
That Dwayne Hall saying he doesn't do diapers. But I tell you what, maybe we can pull. I don't know if Dwayne's. I'm looking through the TeamSpeak here. I don't know if he's in or not. I wanted to pull him in tonight. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
Dwayne's not far off from doing diapers. A couple years away.
Well, he is a grandpa. I know that. Well, he's younger than I am.
That might not be what he means.
He's a grandpa and he's a lot younger than I am. So.
I don't know if Jerry means by modeling them or what.
Well, here's the deal, boys. I want to say, I want to try to get Dwayne Hall up here in the booth. I want him to talk about a race coming up I think it's on September 30th. Working on putting a video together for it. It's going to be a very special race. It's a benefit for a young man who, well, it's for actually a group of kids, but this all come about by a young man who's going through some very difficult cancer treatments right now, and I'm going to see if I can get Dwayne Hall up here in the booth to try to tell us about it here a little bit. But meantime, back out here on the track, Kyle Lent hanging on to that lead out in front for the Halls on Post. James Greegate, the other Halls on Post driver, sitting in third position. So there's 2 out of 3. And I'll tell you what, Kevin Brent's trying to get it back from James Greegate as he works the bottom here. James Greegate up on the top, move Kevin Brent back up to third position, guys.
And tell you what, you got that Jason Riddle of Elite Sim Racing. He's right up there running there in second place. He's on a pretty stout car at the moment, and looks like him and Kyle Lent are kind of holding a little bit of a gap between the 42 and the 7 here. Looks like the 42 got a nice run off of 2 there and gained up a lot of ground up on that 96, JD.
Yeah, you bet. And I'll tell you what, I think we got Dwayne. I had the rear screen door open and close. That familiar little squeak. And
Yep.
I think you know, I think Dwayne Hall just walked into the room. Are you with us, Dwayne? He's not quite ready yet. They're strapping a microphone onto him and trying to get it plugged in. Of course, you know them old-fashioned microphones we got here on the table, them big old fat quarter-inch plugs that we use nowadays. But tell you
Well,
what,
you know, they're
go
stripping
ahead.
wires right now and trying to get them connected properly.
Strip wires. That's how it is here at ETV, folks. I'll tell you what, everything's always been beta test. But I'll tell you what, you want to watch this race again, we might as well tell you how to get it. Go to etv-eplay.net, 99 cents, and you can watch this thing again here at Chicagoland, the MTCO.com team race, inaugural racer for season 4. 99 cents, or you can put $10 on your account over there, and John Wessling, he'll give you 15 downloads, dude. I'll tell you what, there's no better fun than letting them all pile up on your hard drive. Kick the old lady and the kids out the room, crank that puppy up, and sit there and watch races from the nation all day long. Coronas and corn dogs, dude. etv-eplay.net. But Dwayne says, I guess they're still working on. Are they still working on your mic, Dwayne?
I'm here, guys. I wouldn't miss this free food.
That's what took so long.
All right. Well, hey, I know I was just telling everybody here, you know, we got a special deal coming up, working hard, putting a video together for it and everything. It's going to happen on September 30th. I believe that's a Friday night. It's going to be a benefit for a group. I'll just let you explain it.
Yeah, it's for childhood cancer awareness. It's the month of September, so we're trying to get done the month of September. That's why the 30th. We're thinking about the 23rd, the Friday night before that, to run qualifying, broadcast qualifying, just to make it really interesting, since there is some money up for grabs. And it's all about little kids that have cancer and have a really hard time.
I'll tell you what, no better cause than that. And I hate to see any kid having to go through that. I've known a couple of people, including relatives, that have gone through that chemotherapy stuff, and it's not fun at all. And I'm sure glad that you and the nation were all set to put this thing together, but I understand that it's kind of personal to you.
Yeah, I have a 3-year-old grandson who just got diagnosed with cancer, had to have his kidney removed, a big mass removed, and he's going through chemo and radiation. It's tough. Just take one trip to that cancer ward with little kids, and it tears you apart. It's a bad place.
You bet. So be looking out for the videos to come out. We'll probably work on a couple of them. You know, mark it on your calendar. September 30th. You can go to racingnation.com, and I'm sure that we'll be getting some information up over there as the month goes on here. But September 30th for sure, right here at the Nation, broadcasted. The Children's Cancer Awareness Month, and we'd like everybody to pitch in and help out. And thanks for being in the booth with us tonight, Dwayne.
No problem, guys. Let's keep an eye on them Halls on postcards. They got some serious horsepower.
Yeah. All right, then. All right, that was Dwayne Hall for Halls on Post. One of the drivers out there tonight on the team. One of the drivers for Halls on Post team. Jesus, check your notes, dude. But James Greegate and Tony Bowling. Kyle Lent filling in those shoes tonight. Dwayne Hall taking the night off, but appreciate him coming in the booth and telling us about that childhood cancer awareness. But out here, Kyle Lent still out in front as he gets the little piece of the wall coming off turn there. Kevin Brent moved all the way up into second. Remember, he was fighting James Greegate back there for a little bit. James dropping back to 5th position. 78 of Chris Melton moving up past James Greegate. So there's your top 5. Kyle Lent, Kevin Brent, Jason Riddle, Chris Melton, James Greegate. But behind them, here comes Dave Hooten, and I understand his. Yeah, the student, and I tell you what, he was out of town this week. We hope to get an interview with him. This was the car that the driver that Dan White was working with. If you missed the Monday night series, you want to get over to etv-eplay.net and get that race from Richmond downloaded. We had an opportunity to have Dan White in the booth took season 3 off and spent that season with the number 8 machine and as an experimental type deal. But hoping to get Dave in the booth probably sometime this week and see if we can get an interview with him. But Dragon Motorsports up inside the top 10. 2 of them up there, Larry Mulliken and Hooten up there. And checking back a little bit further, Frankie Samato, the 3rd car for Dragon Motorsports, in 11th position. So good job so far, guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dave's working his way up forward there. Kind of did it quietly, moving up the group, and it looked like he was starting to catch up to that 7 of James Grigate. I thought for a minute there he's possibly going to get up close enough to him to get around him, move him back one position, head forward, because it seemed like he must have saved his tire a little better than these other guys. As I'm watching a 78 of Chris Melton, that was about the 3rd time I seen that car slap that wall coming out of Ford, JD.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, we're getting close to about the halfway point here. 48 of them in the books already here at Chicagoland Speedway. And I'll tell you what, this is about the point in the race where we start looking at teams and finding out where they're at. We just told you Dragon Motorsports looking to get 3 of them up there in the top 10. They're real close with one sitting back there in 11th. And then looks like we've got Brents and Riddle, Brents and Melton up there for Class Action Motorsports. So there's 2 of their teammates up in there. Joe DePino, we talked about him just a little bit ago, forced behind the wall with engine problems and out of the race. And like we like to say here at the Nation, headed for the barn. So that's going to hurt Class Action, but as long as they can keep those... Oh, Hooten almost gets a piece of James Grigate coming off of turn 4 here, guys. Hooten collecting it back up to 27 and Mulliken behind him, teammates here. Remember, 27 is just signed on with Dragon Motorsports, but Hooten able to get it back up here and get it behind James Grigate.
Tell you what, for that 27, it's kind of hard to not want to pass the number 8 of Dave Hooten with him being on your team, because, you know, Larry Mulliken's not used to him being on his team. Might take him a week or 2 to, you know, think about that when he gets up there to pass his teammate, and maybe communicate with them. If you feel you're faster, maybe they'll move up for you and let you by, Jerry.
Tracy, I got a question. Do you sleep better at night telling yourself that? Dude, if you think he cares who's on what team, these boys want to go to the front. They're racers, man. They all want to win. Come on, JD, tell him.
Well, I'll tell you what, from the outside looking in, from a lot of these races here now, this is a couple of seasons we've been broadcasting. You know, it doesn't seem like anything comes together with these teams until the very last moment, and they might discover that, ooh, we got 2 or 3 cars up here in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever. But I know of one team out there that's working hard to put some strategies together and make it work for them. I ain't going to give out no secrets for them, but I'll tell you what, I can see it happening right now. But I'll tell you what, let's go on down through the teams here. We've got, be quiet. We've got Class Action Motorsports, Brents and Melton, the only 2 cars DePino out of the race, up in the top 5 guys. Hall's on post. We're looking at Kyle Lent, who's given up the lead to Kevin Brents. Kyle Lent, James Grigate, and Tony Bowling, the 3 for Hall's on post, all of them up in the top 10. 2 of them, 1 in the top 5, actually 2 of them in the top 5. So that's Hall's on post, and Class Action looking pretty decent. Dragon Motorsports looking pretty sharp tonight too. They've got 2 cars in the top 10, one just hanging on the outside there. And then looking through the rest of the team, looks like they're just kind of spread all over the place, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you, we got the 15 of Tom Kozinski. He's heading down pit road. Looks like he pretty much wore his tires out. He's going to hit pit road here at lap 54. So let's see how many other cars here come in the pit lane, JD.
We got 54 laps in the books here already. Looks like he might be the only one. Kozinski, looks like David Hooten's going to peel off. He's put his hand out, going to signal for a pit stop there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these cars are getting pretty ill handling. We had a nice long run there. I think they're right around 30 laps on these tires, JD. Look at them back markers a little bit, and I said Dave Hooten looks like his car was starting to, he was doing good, and then it looked like he kind of fell back, but it looked like he's staying out this time around, JD.
Hey, JD, wasn't this the track that old Mr. Milhorn pulled the 61 out of the bag on?
I believe it was Chicagoland Speedway. And I don't see his name on the list there tonight, so I wonder where Tim Milhorn is. I don't know that he's even made it on a team this season.
I don't believe he has, but what I'm saying is y'all might want to watch here, Tracy. I think you're going to see a little bit more laps before they come in pitting. Probably to the tune of about 10 to 15 more, I believe.
Yeah, not sure about these lead lap cars here, though. They're pushing them higher tires pretty hot and hard there, Jerry. And I know that Tim Milhorn was actually taking it pretty easy that race. He did 61 laps.
But it can be done.
Looks like James Greegate feeling the pressure there, so he's going to peel off. He's got his signal up. And I'll tell you what, the transition from the pavement to the race, to the apron here, as he makes his way down pit road, good job there. And 45-mile-an-hour pit road speed here as James Greegate coming into pit. Jason Riddle in the 96 machine signaling for his pit stop as well, Tracy.
And the 70 of Jesse, the wallbanger Seamus, he just entered pit road at the same time. The 7 car made it, so it looks like everybody's going to pit now. Then they only have about, what, 43 laps for these tires to run on, JD?
Yeah, that could be. We were about 38 laps or so. Remember the last pit stop they had was at lap 18. That was at the caution with the 70 machine of Jesse Racines. But as James Greegate leaves pit road and makes his way back out here on the track, Jesse Racines come out behind him.
And Kyle Lynn just entered the pit road, just got to his pit box where his guys were on the right side changing tires. It looks like they're getting ready to jump over to the left side and change tires.
All right, yellow flag, back it down.
Yellow flag comes out.
Okay, ladies, just took the yellow. Pit road's closed. Pit road's closed.
Got together.
Teammates, guys. Holy cow, teammates. This is not going to be a good night for these two cars. And you're exactly right. The 27 machine, Larry Mulliken and Dave Hooten getting together out here at Chicagoland, guys. Not sure what took place here. It might have been trying to get off. Actually, it looks like one of them might have just lost it. Larry Mulliken just loses it up here, Jerry. Just coming into the turn, loses it in front of his teammate. Teammate, no place to go. The 27 machine slides down in front of the 8. And minor damage. Looks like they not a whole lot of damage to either one of them, Jerry.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you are exactly right. And I don't think there was a whole lot of damage there, JD. So maybe it won't be so bad on these guys who'll get in here, get these cars fixed up, and get back out there. But I'll tell you what.
Okay, pits are up for all cars. We can pit now.
Today, buddy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Wendy Bernard, I tell you, the only female, actually she's the second female because we've got Angela Hall, who's basically crew chief for the Halls on Post team, and now we've got Wendy Bernard. She's pretty much the crew chief for the Dragon Motorsports team, so it's pretty nice to have two gals in here mixing it up in here with these guys. And of course Angela Hall, the wife of Dwayne Hall, trackmaster here at the Nation. Wendy Bernard, that's David Bass's mom. And I understand that Wendy's even been out in a car, and she's got a ton of laps here at Chicago, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, she's been out running, trying to see how them cars drive. But I was just noticing, JD, I think we're going to have a few cars a lap down come up here, and one might be that number 7, James Greegate.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that may be the case here. We won't know until everything cycles around here. But caution coming out here on lap 60, guys. The two Dragon Motorsports cars, the 27 Larry Mulliken, the 8 of Hooten. And I'll tell you what, not going to sit well with Dragon Motorsports tonight. But I'll tell you what, 61 laps in the books here at Chicagoland Speedway. We're going to go ahead and step away and take a commercial break. You're watching a live ETV Live. Chicagoland Speedway, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. Don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, we are back live working caution number 2 here at Chicagoland Speedway. Came out on lap 60 at 27 and 8 machine from Dragon Motorsports involved with that one. And I see Jesse the Outlaw James is hanging around here, so we're going to try to get him, coax him up here into the booth as well. Jesse James, he broadcasts with David Bass on Tuesday nights, the True Gravity Truck Series over there. But I'll tell you what, Tracy, looks like Hooten and Mulligan able to hang on to their top 10 positions here for Dragon Motorsports, and see if they can't at least finish this thing out up here in the top 10.
Yeah, let's just hope that damage that Dave got on the front of his car in that 8 machine doesn't affect him, because the draft means the aerodynamics mean everything here at Chicagoland, JD. But I tell you what, as I said, that 7 of James Greegate, the 70 of Jesse Racimus, and the 17 of Tom Plazinski are all lap down cars. And I tell you what, that 16 of Kyle Lint got a penalty and basically had to serve the longest line, and he'll be starting in the back with those guys, Jimmy.
Green, 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 green.
All right, penalties coming Kyle Lint's way for hauls on post as we get the green to go here again. Kevin Brent's out in front, Chris Melton, Ernie D'Alfonso, and John Elkins out here. Dave Hooten picking up the 5th position out here for your top 5. And it looks like Samanto for Dragon Motorsports. I'll tell you what, Dragon Motorsports has now got 3 of their cars inside the top 10, right where they need to be. But I'll tell you what, I did hear the screen door open and close, and I'm looking down here, down the table down here, and I see Jesse James sitting down there at the end of the table. Jesse, welcome to the booth here on Wednesday night, dude.
Hey, what's going on, Cowboy? What's going on, Flip? Thanks for having me, guys. I've been enjoying the show from the pit pass you guys got me for the race. I've been walking up and down, checking things out, watching the race in action, man. It's a great race going on here, and looks like a great start to the team series you guys got going here.
Yeah, you bet. Tell you what, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series here on Wednesday nights is racing you don't want to miss here on ETV. But I tell you what, these guys know how to do it right. And, you know, the deal is here, Jesse, it's not about who wins the race. It's more about where you and your team finish on the grid as far forward as possible, as always. But, you know, back out here on the track, take a look at the 22 Frankie Samanto. He's got Larry Malkin in his sights along with Danny Gabaldon up on top. And then Jason Riddle back here in the 96 machine. There's some racing going on here, guys. But Jesse, you know, you and David Bass, you guys are hooked up with the Tuesday night truck series. How's that going for you over there?
Oh, it's a blast, and we just ran our first race last night, as a matter of fact, and the businessman in the home-sponsored True Gravity truck brought home the win on the top side by, get this, 1/100th of a second. It was quite an amazing finish, and really a great race. So, yeah, we're looking forward to a great season in the RSN True Gravity Truck Series. And I'm looking forward, as a fan, to checking out all these Halls on Post Pro Series races on Monday night and all these MTCO Team Series races on Wednesdays, man. This is a big deal. I'm really glad to be back, you know, in touch with ETV. I've been missing it for years now, and now, you know, I found you guys again. This is great to see y'all doing your thing, and I'm real proud to be a part of it, and real happy to be able to check out all the great racing action.
You bet. Always welcome up here in the booth. For you know, as a broadcaster here with ETV, you got the key, so you're welcome to come on in anytime. But out here on the track, Ernie D'Alfonso up here, guys, looked like he was almost putting that chrome bumper to that 42 machine. Kevin Brent's up here just a couple of laps ago. He's still working over the backside of Kevin Brent up here. But tell you what, actually that's Chris Melton, I should say, not Kevin Brent. The 78 car, Chris Melton, pulls up just a little bit, and looks like D'Alfonso is going to get the run on him coming off of turn 4 here, Tracy.
Yeah, but did you see how that 42 car moved and closed up that spot there at the bottom from Ernie D'Alfonso, so don't get there. As a 70 to Chris Melton, he was trying to keep Ernie pinched down there entering the corner, but tell you, Ernie still got up there on the track. He was able to get his space he needed. Don Klein is just sitting back watching all the racing going on, but you know that you got the 2 Halls and Post cars, the 16 of Kyle Lynn and that 7 of James Greegate. They're going to be pushing pretty dang hard to get back up to the front, because there really isn't that many laps to go, JD.
You've got 69 laps in the books here at Chicagoland. We'll call it 70, 30 laps left here at Chicagoland. James Greegate, the first car, 1 lap down. So if we do get another caution he will be the lucky dog. Beyond that, he's going to have to race that puppy all the way around to try to get it back. As D'Alfonso getting sideways, almost going 3 wide here down the backstretch. 3 wide going into turn 3, guys. Coming off of turn 4, Brent and D'Alfonso together. 70 laps in the books, guys. 30 laps more of racing here at Chicago, and we're already getting wild, Tracy.
And look who took over the lead at 78 at Chris Melton on the high side. With those two racing low, as Ernie D'Alfonso slides up, gets into that 42. JD, tell you what, that's the second time they bounced into each other within that straightaway and corner.
Yeah, and behind them, John Elkins and Tony Bowling up here. And I'll tell you what, this thing ain't over yet. It looks like the race just got started. 71 laps here at Chicagoland, 100 laps here in the race tonight. But I'll tell you what, with about 29 more left to go, maybe we should have started the broadcast now.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got racing in the top 8 here, Jay. The 21, Tony Bowling just gets loose, gets up in the wall.
All right, yellow flag, back it down.
Nobody else collects into him as he's down in the apron now. Oh, got another car involved. James Greegate machine has just got spun out, JD.
Yeah, it looks like Tony Bowling. I tell you what, these guys are just duking it out up here. Tony Bowling just gets loose on his own, guys. Slaps the wall, can't get it back, rolls across the field, and then teammate James Greegate gets involved.
Okay, the leader just took the yellow.
Like
Pit road's closed. Pit road's closed.
He even got there. Don't know if Greegate had any help or not. Actually, it looks like Greegate did have some help. He got nailed by Jason Krause, I believe, Jerry.
Yeah, you are exactly correct, JD. I tell you what, man, that's a tough break for that Halls on Post team tonight. And I believe he actually got it from the... Oh, man, it looks like the 21 got into the... Maybe the 77 coming around there? No, it was 28, guys, if Howard Pittman got into him. A little bit more damage for that 7-car. Tough break for Halls on Post, man.
Yeah, JD, I was watching the replay. What happened is a 98 car got in the back of the 77 and hit him, and that showed him way up into the 7, which caught his rear corner, and that's what got James spinning. And then the 28 just got into the side of him hard there, guys.
Pits are open for the lead cars only. Lead cars only.
I feel another music video coming on. Maybe I can get some waltz music, some dance music, and just start capturing some of these spins and some of these cautions that these guys have and put it to some dance music. What do you think?
Yeah, that one would probably fit pretty good with.
I'll tell you what, JD, that old Dwayne Hall is just like you. He gets grumpy, so I'm not sure I'd play with him too much if I was you.
The old turn two.
Yeah, but it ain't him I'm worried about, it's her. I'm worried about her Hall.
I see John Wesley. Tell you what, JD, and I got a little worse. That 21 of Tony Bolin has parked his car. Looks like I'm not too sure if his damage was just too extensive that he couldn't get back around the pit of the road there, guys.
Hey, tough break for Hall Post, but I'll tell you what, the action happening out here on the track. Third caution of the night coming out, 21 and the 7 involved. The Halls on Post junkyard, as John Wessling called it over there in the chat room. But I'll tell you what, it's time for us to take a break and collect our thoughts. So, hey, don't go away. It's all happening right here on ETV Live. The MTCO.com Team Racing Series at Chicago. We'll be right back.
Okay, pits are open for all cars. We can pit now.
Hey, this is JD here to tell you about NVG Web Hosting. NVG has several hosting packages to choose from that include cPanel, website templates. You can even register your domain with them. Web hosting plans start at an affordable $3.95 a month and reseller plans starting at $13.95 a month. And the best part, no setup fees. NVG Web Hosting provides daily backups, 24/7 tech support. You can even transfer your existing domain through them. So don't be caught in the dark with your web hosting. Sign up and get started today. NVGWebHosting.com. All right, and don't get caught in the dark with your web hosting, NVGHosting.com. I'll tell you what, those are the boys that put down the foundation for our house over here at the Nation. And, of course, Sean Bickle, True Gravity Arts, Those are the guys that come in and do the decorating. But I'll tell you what, Outlaw, things are happening out here at Chicagoland Speedway. And I'll tell you what, you know, that race on Tuesday night, that truck race, I was able to catch a little bit of it. And I'll tell you what, that broadcast looked awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. We had a lot of fun out there. And I tell you what, you guys are doing a great job here. And this race is getting ready to really pick up. As you guys look like you're down to the last quarter of the race. It's business time now. This is going to get pretty exciting.
Yeah, you got that right. What you want to watch that truck race again? All you got to do is go over to etv-eplay.net and pick it up. I'll tell you what, it's the most fantastic looking screen you'd ever want to see. A little bit bigger resolution. John Wessling over there, of course, like we keep saying, GTV is always in a beta test. Well, he's testing out a new encoder over there. It looks like we got it hooked up over there, streaming out there to Ustream. Have to put up with a few commercials on the live broadcast, but I'll tell you what, you get that replay and get it downloaded, and it is absolutely high def. So you want to check that out over there at etv-eplay.net. Get signed up.
Okay, we're going back to green next time by. Lap cars on the inside.
Go here, guys. And Jay Bunn out there in front stayed out on this caution. Not too sure about that one, Tracy. Maybe some kind of strategy working out here. Ernie D'Alfonso for Elite Sim Racing behind him, and then it's Kevin Brents, Chris Melton, Jason Riddle, the other Elite Sim Racing team member, and up there in the top 5. And then Frankie Samanta, we were keeping a check on that Dragon Motorsports. Remember, those were the only team that had 3 cars in the top 10. So Samanto is still up there. Hooten is still in there. Mulligan is just outside in 11th.
You know, JD, there's a thing I saw that they have that truck series that we don't have here. They have some acrobatic trucks, because a couple of trucks went out there and did a few pirouettes and barrel rolls and spins there that night. And yeah, I can tell you what, there's some strategy going on. We got 24 lap sprint getting ready to happen.
Yeah, you bet. I'll tell you what, wild nights here at the Nation. Wednesday nights. And just looking over the calendar here, on Wednesday nights, we're going to be at USA Speedway next week on the 21st. You don't want to miss that, live right here on ETV at the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. And then next Monday night, the Hop Series, the Halls on Post boys, they're going to be right here in
Green
Chicago.
flag, go, 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 go!
We're going to go to US, or actually we're going to just stay right here in Chicago for the week as we get the green flag one more time here. And I'll tell you what, Jay Bunn got a pretty decent start out there, but the 42 of Kevin Brents, he looked to get the jump on that 24 machine real early, jumped all the way down to the apron trying to get the number on that 24, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, I tell you what, one of them right down to the apron. Looked like he slid up a little bit into the 24, bounced off and probably had to save his car and fell back to third position. But I tell you, Jay Bunn's doing a great job. Leading a few laps up there in front of Ernie D'Alfonso. Not too sure about his tires out there, but I tell you what, like you like to say, is things are going to start happening now as we get down there the last few laps of this race, JD.
But keeping an eye on that Elite Sim Racing team, they've got 2 of them up there in the top 10. Actually, 2 in the top 5. D'Alfonso running second. Jason Riddle, teammates up here in the top 5. And then their third car tonight for Elite, Danica Baldwin, back here outside the top 10, running in 12th behind Larry Mulligan. Larry Mulligan, Frankie Samanto, and David Hooten running for Dragon Motorsports, keeping a check on those guys as they had 3 cars up there in the top 10, running pretty smooth before that last caution. And as far as the rest of them go, Halls on Post under fire tonight, 21 of Tony Bowling. Having some difficulty out there. James Greegate shuffled all the way back, still a lap down for Halls on Post, but Jay Bunn for MTCO putting it together out there in front, Tracy.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're doing a great job keeping that car up there. I know his tires a little more wore than those guys. Looks like they're trying to split them, go on each side as Ernie D'Alfonso is working that high line, and the 42 Kevin Bricks is working the low line. But yeah, the 96 of Jason Riddle right there on his back bumper. Boy, he just gets up into the 78 as the 16 just dives underneath that 96. He gets loose and saves that car, JD. Tell you what a great save.
That was absolutely another good hands move from Jason Riddle, the Elite Sim Racing team there. He got almost sideways with the 16 car down on the bottom. Nothing 16 did anything wrong. But I'll tell you what, Jason Riddle, fantastic job hanging on to that machine. That could have wiped out a bunch of cars for it.
I'll tell you what, guys. Here's what I see going on up front. I see an MTCO car up there making some other drivers use up their tires. Exactly what I see going on, Tracy Robinson.
Yeah, making them run high side. Get that right rear tire a little warm and maybe keep them loose. He's doing a great job holding that bottom. I think Aaron Diofondo just made his way around him. But I tell you what, if he can stay up there until the end of this race, that's going to be a great finish for MTCO.
There you go, score one for the Elite Sim Racing team. Diofondo gets a jump on Bunn down here. Bunn's still working the bottom. But behind him, Kevin Brent's up here for Class Action Motorsports, formerly Can-Am guys. Kevin Brent's putting it together. He's giving Bunn a run for his money now. And then Kyle Lent back here in the 16 car. I'll tell you what, Kyle the kid, suffering from I think he had a penalty on pit road here a couple of cautions ago, Tracy, but managed to get himself back up in the top 5.
Tell you what, we had a big check up there or something, JD, because them guys all dove down the 16 and the 52, dove down that apron. Must have slowed them down because the 78 of Chris Melton got into the back of the 39 car. Tell you what, great job not getting that car spun out, and them guys all checking up because they're running nose to tail right now. Tell you, everybody's pushing for everything they got, JD, and running real hard and actually still running pretty clean.
Yeah, John Elkins down here on the bottom, trying to get past the 42 of Kevin Brent. He's got Kyle Lynn out there in front of him. Elkins running for Crossed-Up Motorsports, formerly the True Gravity Racing team, but the difficulty there, they only had 2 cars out on the track tonight. Hal Beardsworth in that number 3 machine is the other one, guys, and Hal Beardsworth's running an 8.
Tell you what, Jay Bunn just said that 37 car, all types of squirrely there. On the outside of the 16, they got them moved up. They're all getting around them as 39 of Elkins gets by, and the 42 of Kevin Benson just getting by him too, Jerry.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, JD and Tracy, it looks like the bleeding begins here for that 37 car. I wasn't quite sure how long they were going to be able to stay out there, but it looks like that 42, like you said, 78's gotten around in 52. 78's actually going to jump back here behind him, JD. Look a little bit, maybe wait and see what happens, because I'm telling you what, the tires got to be getting bad on that 37 machine.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that strategy was all about there, but then on the other hand, maybe about collecting points too. I mean, game ain't over for another 12 weeks yet, so it's all about getting as many points as you can, Jerry.
No, I tell you what though, JD, yeah, you are exactly right. It is about getting as many points as you can, and it doesn't matter if it's race 1 or 12, man. You need those points now. I'll tell you what though, I think possibly there might have been some question about maybe another caution coming out. Maybe that's what they were hoping, praying for. Get them points, go in, get those tires, get back up there with the rest of them. But that other caution, I think, didn't fly.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there as Dave Hooten comes alongside the 37 here trying to get that spot from him. But I'll tell you what, outstanding racing happening here tonight at Chicagoland Speedway. 87 of them in the books, guys. And we've only had 3 cautions for tonight, so that's half of what our average is here at Chicagoland Speedway. So I'll tell you what, like we keep telling you, ain't no better racing that happens right here at the Nation. MTCO.com Team Racing Series on Wednesday nights. Also check out the Tuesday Night Truck Series and the Monday Night Halls on Post Series. And you know what? You can watch all these races one more time or as many times as you want. etv-eplay.net. Get over there, get signed up. 99 cents, $10, dude. Get you 15 downloads. So Coronas and corn dogs, and have a good old time. But I'll tell you what, there's absolutely some racing going on out here at Chicagoland tonight as Elkins gets past, it looks like Elkins gets past a bunch of people up here, guys, for Crossed-Up Motorsports. I keep wanting to say True Gravity Hearts. Got to get used to these new teams, Tracy.
New leader, 16, Kyle and Jerry.
Yeah, guys, 16 got around at 24. I did get a little whisper in my ear to move them cameras up towards the front because the pass was about to be made. So there is definitely team owner communication going on here tonight. I think there actually might be a little bit more communication in the background than we really realized, JD.
Well, that may be a good thing. I'll tell you what, Chris Melton up here trying to get his team to move forward up here. Chris Melton for Class Action Motorsports. Kevin Brent and Melton working together up here trying to get the job done.
All right, yellow flag. Back it down.
As the caution comes out for the
Okay,
third,
the leader just took the yellow.
time,
Pit
guys.
road's closed. Pit road's closed.
See if we can't cycle around. Looks like it's going to be 20 of Scotty Collins for ETV Live. Try to pick it up here on the replay and see what happened to Scott. Caution coming out here on lap 91. Looks like he all by himself, Jerry. Looks like he just started the spin. Looks like 77 of Jason Krause might have caught a piece of that, but just looked like Scotty Collins just kind of going around all by himself right here in turn 4, Jerry.
JD, you and I need to have a talk after this race, and we need to sit down, and I want to know your definition of peace compared to mine, because he got a whole lot of that. You are exactly right, buddy. Dumped it around there in the corner, came out 77. Unfortunate end of that. I believe that's twice that's happened to that guy tonight. So tough break for both teams tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Ready for it to be really interesting now, JD. Who's going to pit and who's not going to pit? Tell you that 37 of Jay Bunn, he was able to stay up there in 7th position with them a couple laps old tires. Who's going to pit and who's not going to pit? The new game show.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what, we get back to racing, there's only going to be about 5 or 6 laps left here. I think it's still too early for a green-white checkered, but I'll go ahead and tell you about that. If it does come our way, you get one shot only with the green-white
Okay, pits are open for all cars.
And, you
we
got
can
to get
pit
it
now.
done on that last lap. The caution should fly on that green flag lap. Game over. It's done deal. And the officials call the race, and we'll finish behind the pace car at pace speed. But I'll tell you what, it looks like we're getting a bunch of takers. A few of them headed down pit road, guys.
Oh, that was nasty, Tracy. Did you see that?
Kyle Lent went down pit road, and pretty much every car in the top 10 and plus them stayed out, JD. The next group after that was Roger Haygood and Jerry Hinkle following that 16 car in. So it looks like we've still got, let's see, about 10 cars on the track there, JD.
Yeah, I tell you what, things are looking pretty sweet out here. And I tell you, looking down here through the top 10, looks like Ernie D'Alfonso, Jason Riddle, and are the only two teams. Looks like Elite might have a couple in there, but the only team with 3 cars inside the top 10 is going to be that Dragon Motorsports. I'll tell you what, they are absolutely working it out here. But Kevin Brent staying out. Kyle Lent, he's going to come out of the pits, and he's going to be in 11th position when this thing restarts, guys. I'll tell you what, we get back to racing, there's only going to be about 5 or 6 laps here when we get hooked up here. So I'll tell you what, we'll just go ahead and stay right with it. Outlaw Jesse James in the booth with us tonight here on Wednesday night, MTCO.com Team Racing Series. And I'll tell you what, are these races here as exciting as the truck races over there with you boys?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm having a blast checking this race in action out. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for these last couple laps. This green-white checker finish. This is gonna be a lot of fun to watch. This entire race has been real good. And you know, I remember ARCA from back before, and I haven't actually been
Green.
Simulation for years now, and it's come a long way. It's come a long way, and the racing is so much better than it used to be, and it's really a lot of fun to watch.
You bet. Kevin Brent's picking up the green flag there. John Elkins immediately got the jump on the 24 Ernie D'Alfonso, trying to work around him on the bottom, going down the backstretch here. 94 laps in the book, 6 of them to go here tonight, guys. I'll tell you what, if we hadn't started the broadcast, we probably started about 10 laps ago, because they have absolutely been hooking it up here the last 10, 15 laps, Tracy, as this thing starts to wind down here.
Tell you what, Jason Riddle just had to make a move, jumping on his brakes. That 16 of Kyle Lent with them fresh tires just jumped right underneath them. They were in a 3-wide condition. The 27 of Larry Mulligan. Jason Riddle decided I ain't gonna get caught up in this crash, so he backed out. But I tell you what, it's not just their hair on fire right this moment, this few laps ago. But that 16 of Kyle Lent is completely on fire as he's going on the outside of that 22. I bet you he probably taped that car up a little bit too, JD, get a little more speed out of it.
Yeah, you bet, as Dave Hooten moves up past the 78 of Chris Melton here. Dave Hooten running from Dragon Motorsports. All 3 of those guys, the only team with 3 cars up in the top 10 here. But I'll tell you what, Kevin Brent and his boys, Class Action Motorsports, Chris Melton up there in the top 5, 2 of them up there. Joe DePina out of the race here tonight with 4 laps to go here at Chicagoland. This is what it comes down to, boys. How many of your boys, how many of your teammates are you going to get up as far forward as you can by the time this is the checkered flag here at Chicagoland? Kyle Lent just burning up the tires here, guys. I tell you what, from about 12th to 6th in about 3 laps here, Trace.
Yeah, and he's got 3 laps to get up to that leader, JD. And he's been doing all his passing up there on the outside. I tell you what, gaining 5 spots in about a lap and a half. He's just, like I said, I bet you he'd probably tape that car up a hair more because it's only a short run, and he's going to run them brand new tires until they pretty much don't work for him anymore. As he's looking under the 70 at Chris Melton all the way down on the apron, JD.
Now you bet 2 laps to go here. Next time around, the white flag lap, no caution will fly. So once Kevin Brents picks up that white flag, it's game over, dude. You got 1 lap to make it happen. And I tell you, we've seen some exciting finishes here in the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. As Kevin Brent's got to come around, running pretty much by himself. No threat from Elkins back here. Erno D'Alfonso, he's got pretty good run going for him. Dave Hooten managed to get up there inside the top 5 guys, but here comes Kyle Lent working the middle lane here. Going to pull up on the bumper of Hooten. I tell you what, Kyle Lent just absolutely making that outside lane run for him. And I tell you, Chris Melton back here in 5th. 1 more lap, guys. Kevin Brent's going to come around and pick up the checkered flag, and it's game over. And it's, I tell you what, Kevin Brent's going to get it easy. John Elkins behind him in 3rd. Erno D'Alfonso, but the race is happening behind them with Hooten and Melton, and I'll tell you what, man, wow, it's over. I tell you this thing just gets you speechless sometimes. I mean, you're just checking out these cars, the finishes and everything, and the racing going on. I tell you what, there ain't no more exciting racing than happens right here on Wednesday nights.
And I tell you what, JD, we had a huge crash back in the back there. Jason Riddle, Jason Krause got caught up into it. 17 of Tom Plazinski, the 28 of Howard Pittman. These guys are still limping these cars around the track to get past the finish line, JD.
Hey, you know what? That's usually what we see out here on a lot of these races. We even see them on the Monday night races. But I'll tell you what, Kevin Brent's able to hook it up out there. It's like Kyle Lent kind of limping his car back around here. And John Elkins finishing in 2nd. Ernie D'Alfonso for Elite Sim Racing up there in 3rd. And Dragon Motorsports looks like they're the only team that had 3 cars up inside the top 10. Looks like Elite had 2 cars. And I think Class Action Motorsports, I believe they had, Kevin Brents and Chris Melton, they had 2 cars up there too. So I'll tell you what, we're going to step away and take a commercial break, get ready for the MTCO post-race show here. We'll get everything all sorted out, and we'll come back with your winners here. So sit tight, don't go away. We'll be right back here at Chicagoland. MTCO Communications, dude. I'll tell you what, the only place to get your gaming servers, no contract, month to month. Get gaming tonight with Battlefield 2. Hey, Call of Duty. Do it with R-Factor. Arca Sim Racing, dude. I'll tell you what, $49 a month. No better deal anywhere. Remote access, virus filters, remote power cycle, no player limit, no bandwidth, dude. Dedicated servers. Hey, do it tonight. Give them a call, 800-859-6826. All right, and we are back live, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series and the MTCO.com post-race show. I'll tell you what a night here at Chicagoland Speedway. Kevin Brents takes it from pole to checkers tonight, qualifying in on a 30.04. I'll tell you what, you had John Elkins qualified right beside you. He's got 2nd place here tonight, Kevin Brents. But I'll tell you what a night here at Chicago for you, man.
Yeah, what a night. It was pretty wild. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were pretty upset there for a lot of us. But it was pretty wild, and man, that was crazy.
Hey, catch your breath out there. I'll tell you what, you pretty much stayed up in the top 5 all night long, so it looked like your car was set up pretty much for the long run. Was that what you were expecting tonight?
Yeah, that was pretty much what we were expecting. We we kind of evaluated where everyone was at the start of the race, and we figured who was going to be fast at the start. And we knew we were going to be really good after about 20 laps. So when that last caution came out, we were just like, "Oh God, we're going to lose another one here."
All right, I'll tell you what. I know big name change coming for the team, formerly Can-Am Racing Team. You guys put up a pretty good fight last season. You and Melton, Dan Wiley, new driver this season for you, the 34 Joe DePino. Now you're known as Class Action Motorsports. Got any idea when we can see the new paint jobs coming your way?
Well, from what I hear, it'd be the next race, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right, outstanding. Any shout out there you want to give?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammate putting in a good effort here. It's misfortune with Joe there, but I want to thank you guys up in the booth, all the racers out there. I don't know what you guys saw out there, but it was pretty wild, and we did pretty good not to take each other out.
I'll tell you what, I think I made the comment during the race there right at the end that if we didn't start this thing until about the last 20 laps, it'd been all right with me, because that's when the racing really starts. Congratulations on the win tonight, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw it on down the lane just a little bit more. Tracy Robinson standing by with second-place finisher John Elkins.
Yeah, JD, I caught up the second-place finisher, John Elkin, who also started the race tonight in the P2. Tell you what, John did a great job. Looked like you kind of hung around within the top 10 all night.
Yeah, we had a good car. I just tried to get it better for a long run as the night went on.
Yeah, it looked like some really good racing there at the end. I know people were bouncing into each other, but not really spinning. Is that way you seen it?
Yeah, they were dicing up a little bit, and I just tried to keep cautious and be aggressive at the same time.
I know this is your first race here in the team series. What do you think about it?
I love that level of competition. I love racing with Brent and Ernie and just everybody. They show you a lot of respect, and it was a good time.
All right, there. Do you got any thanks you want to give out there tonight?
I'd like to thank my team, Sept Motorsports, Hal, for showing up tonight and racing, helping the team out, and thank Don Klein for the setup, and just you guys up in the booth for everything you do.
All right, you guys, that's your second place finisher tonight in the team series. And I think I'm going to throw it down till Jerry Wolf, who caught up with Ernie D'Alfonso, I believe.
Yes, indeed, I have caught up with Ernie D'Alfonso. Ernie D'Alfonso, your combination tonight is going to be 3:11:13, because that's exactly where you and your two teammates finished tonight. Great run for Elite Sim Racing. Not a 1-2-3 podium finish, but hey, you guys got her done tonight. All three of you showed up. You got out of here with no DNFs and great finishes tonight.
Yeah, it's all you can ask for. Jerry is, a good team finish throughout the team. But I'll tell you, man, everyone's been mentioning how, intense it was out there. And it was, man. That's like the hardest I've ever had to work for a third place finish. But, at least we did keep it, underneath us and, kept it clean.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I got to tell you, welcome to the team series. This is exactly what we were looking for. I hope it stays like this all season. Door-to-door racing nonstop, just as long as you guys are good about it. And tonight was fantastic racing. Everybody gave each other just the amount of room they needed. But, great race tonight for you guys. Before we cut you loose here, Ernie, let me ask you a question about last season. Now that you sit here tonight, do you think maybe that things might be a little tougher this season?
Yeah, I think it definitely is. You could tell, the other teams are working, I think, with other teams just to get an edge on us and stuff. And I don't know if you saw some of the exchange up there when Lent Kevin Brents and Melton were up there. I was trying to get the lead. They were working with each other to hold me back and stuff. But that's what the team series is, and as long as it stays clean, that's all we worry about. But this is going to be a really tough season, I think, to pull a win off if you're any team, to be honest.
I got you, buddy. Well, great finish tonight. Third place for Elite Sim Racing there. Ernie D'Alfonso bringing it back home. Tell you what, let's cut you loose here. Give you shout-outs before I let you out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I got to give a shout-out to that second-place finisher, the new guy there. shoot, what was his name?
John Elkins.
Yeah, that's it, Mr. Elkins. He actually he was just aggressive enough and clean enough, and you're going to see him up, in the top 5 a lot, I think, this season from what I saw. And obviously, shout out to my teammates. We work together, very well every season, and Wessling, John Wessling, for letting me have this ride, and you guys up in the booth and the admins, you Jerry, for making this happen for us.
All right, Ernie, well, I'll tell you what, we'll cut you loose here. We'll see you next week, buddy. JD, get us out of here.
All right, Cowboy, I tell you what, back in the saddle again here, Season 4 of the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. Tracy and Jerry, I tell you, man, I've been looking forward to this now for a couple of weeks. This is some of the best racing you ever want to find online. I'll tell you, tonight at Chicago, we managed to get out of here with 3 cautions. We cut the average in half, guys. So, Tracy, what do you think?
Oh, it's just a great night. Like I said, I couldn't wait to get the season started again. The way the season ended last year, with the quality of competition going on, I just knew that we would move it up a little higher this season, and it hasn't disappointed me with the way the racing's going.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, we want to throw a reminder out there to everybody. Hey, if you're not on a team and you want to try to qualify in for the house team, hey, do it. Come on out here on Wednesday night. I don't know if there's any restrictions, but maybe Jerry can jump in here and tell me if there are. But 9 teams racing here in the MTCO.com Team Racing Series. The 9th team, that RSN house team. And Jerry passes me a note. There are no restrictions, so get your helmet on, crawl in, and get going, get out here and qualify for that house team. You got 3 seats out here available every Wednesday night. Other than that, hey, is it going to be another elite sim racing year? Hey, who knows, man? We got some top-notch drivers out here, some new teams, some new faces, new blood, new everything heading our way. But Tracy, I'll tell you what, all this would not be possible for a lot of people behind the scenes.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got a lot of people to thank who do a lot for us here at the RSN, like True Gravity Arts Design for decorating the RSN website, which he has done a great job redoing, constantly changing things, making it a little bit better. MTCO gaming servers for hosting the best sim around. Tell you what, rock solid service all day long. NVG Web Hosting for hosting the RSN website, keeping that up and going for us. Halls and Post for sponsoring the Halls and Post Monday Night Pro Series. MTCO for sponsoring the Wednesday night MTCO Team Series. DB Tech Service sponsoring the Saturday Night Thunder Series. Arca League Manager, our points manager software. We wouldn't know where these guys are without our points managing software. And the Sim Factory. You tell you what, we wouldn't be racing out here with these cars without them, because they did a great job building this game, JD.
You bet. $49. You want to get out here and slap one of these babies on and get to racing with these guys? SimFactory.com, $49, and you can do it too. But also, Exile Racing sponsoring the Sunday Night Shakedown Series, the nation itself. You want to come over here and race with these guys? I'll tell you what, get signed up over there at RaceSimNation.com and have at it. Jody Johnson, our ETV Live journalist for all the weekly race headlines. Of course, he does the power rankings for the Monday Night Halls on Pro Series. Check that one out, too. And we'd like to thank executive producer John Wessling here at ETV, also ETV's junior producer. And I'll tell you what, coming along just handy-dandy, Jerry the Corn Dog Wolf. I'll tell you what, I know Jerry's having a blast out here on Wednesday nights, got his fingertips all over the cameras. You know what, but he does a pretty good job of keeping them covered. I haven't been able to slide back there yet and push the buttons like I can over at John's place. But I'll tell you what, somebody else we need to thank, Dwayne Hall, for reworking the tracks. We like to call him the track master. And, of course, my co-host for tonight, Tracy Robinson. And, hey, Jesse the Outlaw James. Catch him and David Bass over there on Tuesday nights for the truck races. And I think next Tuesday night they're going to be in Chicagoland. A lot of Chicago races coming this week. And then, of course, not to say the least here, all the drivers, I'll tell you what, ain't no better drivers out here than you'll find right here at RaceSimNation.com. Thanks for all the fantastic racing that we've seen. And we're about to see... So I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and close this show out. One final reminder, keep your calendars marked for September 30th, the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And the nation itself out here, the Race Sim Nation, together with Dwayne Hall, going to sponsor a benefit race out here. It's a very special occasion, and certainly something you want to get involved in. So I'll tell you what, from Chicagoland Speedway, the MTCO.com Team Racing Series, and we'll see you next week at USA.